Today, we're so excited to welcome Dr. Sarah Goodale-O'Brien, Director of Educational Studies in the School of Education at Endicott College. Sarah brings a wealth of experience in teacher preparation and higher education, and she also holds a special place in our community as a Fox Hill alumni parent.
Mhm.
Sarah, we're so glad to have you here on Roots and Wings.
Thank you, Melanie. I'm so happy to be here.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Let's start by getting to know you a little bit. Can you share a little bit about your background and how you found your way to Endicott and your connection as a parent in the Fox Hill community?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll start with the Fox Hill connection. We can't help that. So my son Leo, who is now 11, um, attended a Fox Hill during such a delicate time. He was there during those COVID years. And I always just appreciate you, Melanie, of keeping the morale high, and as really the your mission of the play-based instruction and all of the connections that you kept for the children during that really difficult period for all of us, families, children, and everybody. So that you hold a very special place in my heart because of that time period.
I know.
And
COVID really
oh, it's like
solidified that bond
it sure
of
did.
living through that together.
Um, yeah, absolutely. And so that's why wonderful connection to Fox Hill. I have also connections to the world of education, spanning, oh my goodness, over 25 years now, myself being a classroom teacher for many years and then moving into some administrative work. And then the most recently working in the School of Education at Endicott College, which is really just an incredible opportunity to be able to see students through the eyes of growing teachers, and it's just another magical time in the lifespan. So I really am enjoying that, and just absolutely enjoy the connections with schools like Fox Hill and others all around us here at Endicott, and that's a lot of fun. And I just have to say, I also have two older children too, who are both in high school now, which is pretty
It's just
amazing.
crazy.
So yeah, yeah.
It's crazy, crazy.
Things go by way too fast. Everything
Way
just
too
goes by
fast.
way too fast. Yes.
That is the truth. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Speaking of
Very
that,
true. Yeah.
I'm not sure if you knew this, but Miss Emily at Fox Hill, it wasn't as an education minor at Endicott. She started at Fox Hill as a part-time and then a full-time intern. And now
Mhm.
she's worked here for
And
18
now
years.
yeah,
Um,
that is just so incredible.
it's
I
crazy.
Yeah, and it just shows how I feel that experience learning is the most important kind of learning. I think we think that for our children. We also think of that for those of us growing into the profession who are still here. And those community connections and that learning in the space. And oftentimes those connections remain. Like in the case of Miss Emily, like how beautiful to have that grow through her work with
It's
you.
so
It's
amazing.
yeah, it's just incredible.
Oh,
Really incredible.
and she now, when we have interns from Endicott, she can say, "Well, I started as an intern." It's just such a great
Yeah. Full
connection
circle.
right from the beginning. And I'm sure things have changed a lot since Emily was there. So, what are the different focus areas in the School of Education at Endicott, and how does that inform where students go on internships and things?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The School of Ed here at Endicott is just an incredibly robust, dynamic school. We are a school, which is also really special in higher ed, that we are established as a whole school of education. We're not part of another school, which can sometimes often happen in education. You might have education majors housed under another collaborative school. But for us, we have our own school. So we're able to really establish many different pathways. Our students are incredibly self-driven, really are thinking about the world and becoming part of it. Think a lot about criticality, going against oppression and looking out for people on this earth who need it. This is really what we're kind of all about. And so with that, students, when they come into the School of Education, everyone can choose their own pathway. Those pathways are sometimes associated with a license. So, for example, we have students who are pursuing a license as an undergraduate in early childhood. We have some who are pursuing elementary. We have some who are pursuing secondary. We have, special education programming. We also have educational studies, which is another pathway where students can explore education a bit more. So there's really all kinds of choices as well as minors, and those come into play in education. So we have um, minors in child and family life. We have minors in applied behavior analysis. So oftentimes students who are in educational studies can bring in those minors and really dive into that specialty field. And then all of the internships are associated with those pathways and the
Okay.
student interests. And then there's the
Awesome.
whole graduate school too, which is another whole beautiful world. But
Yes.
yeah,
Oh
so
my goodness. Well, can
yeah.
you tell us how the students go about, like, how did we have several students that have come obviously from Endicott. How did they select Fox Hill as their internship site?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. So it's definitely a philosophical alignment, a bit, where students who are really interested in human development and play-based learning in the early childhood ages will be drawn to Fox Hill for that beautiful environment that you provide that aligns with their own growth and the way that they want to see themselves as future educators. And so the way that it happens practically is through a lot of conversation, a lot of exposure to other experiences, and figuring out what will be the fit, a good fit for students when they come into Fox Hill and the other schools that they go into. And they just they love going to Fox Hill, but just seeing it, we sit here on our campus, our beautiful campus,
So beautiful.
and it is really beautiful, and talk about these things and share, stories about working with young students, especially 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. But it's not until that they get into the classroom and really be able to experience it and see it with their own eyes and be able to make those connections with the young learners where they themselves can really continue to grow and flourish as educators. So,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
that's
a
so fun to
perfect.
watch that happen.
Oh, I know.
So fun
I
to watch
know.
that
It's
happen.
great. And you just see them, they come in kind of timid and don't want to get in. And then within days, they're right
Yeah,
in there like rock
exactly.
stars.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that kind of is a great segue into my next question, which is once they are placed at Fox Hill or elsewhere, what are the key areas of focus for interns and like what kind of expectations are set for their experience in that internship setting?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the internships are always aligned with coursework. So it's kind of a back and forth, right? So that they're, learning theoretically, but then off in the site and having that back and forth. And some of those things are, like I said, theoretical, where we talk about the big picture of education and what might happen. But then there's that other level of, okay, let's have some conversations about what it means to be a professional in a school community, right? And for all of us, that's what we're growing and understanding the place that we're in, and professional competencies become really important. And that's here at Endicott, that's what everybody's learning
Yeah.
of how to be an experienced professional and carry that out. And so that is the baseline expectation on our end, that we talk about those things, and then we build on that and discuss more educational topics. And then most importantly, and you might agree with me, Melanie, that observation and reflection are the most important components to becoming an effective educator. How do you see children from where they are? How do you reflect on that? How do you gain feedback and weave that into your own instruction? So, a lot of talking about that as well. So,
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
You got to see it before
yeah,
you, and you've got to see it. So, that observation and reflection really important. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads to there are so many different philosophies in early childhood education. What kind of preparation, like coursework or, foundational philosophy do students bring with them before they even arrive at Fox Hill?
Yeah, so we are so lucky here. We have such a and I know you know a lot of our faculty and staff,
Yeah.
Melanie, 'cause you're so connected with our group, which is great. But we have such a wonderfully dynamic group of educators here who really are incredibly passionate about a lot of the topics that we teach, which are starting at the baseline, all education students right off the bat, as well as their introduction to education, have coursework around culturally responsive pedagogy. That's really the key. And then, they move into their specialty, but literacy is so incredibly important in another baseline pathway. And then there is some flexibility in some philosophical approaches to education. So we have coursework in Reggio Emilia. We have some coursework in student-centered pedagogies that I happen to be teaching that class right now, where I get into what Montessori philosophy is all about, innovative coursework or innovative classroom design. And so their coursework really runs in that progression where, starting with the baseline of culturally responsive practices, understanding school communities, and then moving into the various philosophies they might be interested in, and getting into dive in a little deeper. But we've got it all here. We have
That's
we have a lot. We have a lot, and I can't forget about our secondary education
yeah.
students too, because which I often do, being like you in a
It,
very headspace of early childhood.
yes, yes.
But they're, really exploring some incredibly more subject-oriented,
Oh,
pathways as well. So and that can be really
amazing.
exciting. That integration is really exciting too.
Yes. Yeah. And the Endicott students are always so well rounded and just open
Oh,
to
great to hear.
learning, and it just fits right in with
Yeah.
how we go about our day.
Yeah. That's great to hear.
I
I love
know.
hearing
I
that.
know.
That's
Love our
amazing.
Endicott
It's like being
interns.
a parent, like, "Ah, yes, I'm getting the good feedback." That's what I
Yes. Yeah,
like.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we've had the pleasure of working with this year several Endicott
Mhm.
interns. We had Isabella, who came for a full
Mhm.
time internship
Yes.
this year, where she was a part time last year, and Abby was a part time, and now Miss Maddie is working with
Yeah.
us this semester.
Yes. Yes.
Um, can you share a little bit about the different types of internship experiences that they're participating in, and how those evolve kind of through as they move through their schooling?
Yeah. So both of those amazing students that you just or the 3 that you just listed were in and still are in their junior year and senior year internships, which means that they're really getting to the point where they're really diving in, moving towards that more full-time employment. Before that, though, they always had internships in both their freshman and sophomore year. Here at Endicott, we have the experiential edge. So actually all across all of the schools on the Endicott College campus, students have an internship every year. We're
Oh,
very career driven,
that's
very
great.
internship driven,
Yeah.
and have had a lot of success from campus wide students jumping right into careers based on internships that they've experienced. So it's really, really important to us. So it grows over time. But as you mentioned, the 3 students that you either have now or had in the past are in their junior and senior year internship. And that's when it becomes very deep. And those are the times when they're in the places where they feel like they really are digging in and exploring and making connections. And I'll just give you a little example of a project that we do on our end that I'm sure you've seen with your junior year internships, where they complete something called the Community Discovery Project when they are a junior in And what they do is that's an investigation of the place that they are in. And they have to it's almost like a deep dive. Like they have to do a little project on, where am I? Why am I here? What am I seeing? What connections am I making? And that's really fun for them. They get to, jump in and really discover the place that they're in. And that happens during the junior year. And then in the senior year, that's when they're all in. Or as you mentioned, Isabella, last semester, they're all in full time, basically as if I am employed and,
Yep.
and a part of this place, right?
And
And
and she
carrying
was.
out.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. And feeling that way. And what an amazing gift to give to these students,
Oh,
Melanie, that's what you're providing for them. And it's just, yeah, it's really incredible. So they really have to work very hard. Their senior year,
they do.
they have to meet a lot of guidelines,
Yep.
have official observations, create goals, all those professional competencies. It's a lot of work,
Yep.
but it's the good work. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think especially in early childhood, the the obviously I'm not an accountant or any other profession, but the difference from learning something on paper and
Oh.
then bring it into a classroom and then having it either blow up in your face or go a wholly different way,
Oh
you
yeah.
cannot there's no substitute for
No.
actually doing it,
Right.
which
Right.
is such a
Exactly.
great thing that you're giving these kids to have before they have to go on their first day, and they'll already know, I'm on to this one. I know what's happening.
Right,
you know,
exactly, exactly, being able to respond because guess what? Our kiddos are gonna give us things we're not expecting. You can't and
100%
you
every
can't
day,
you
every
can't read
day.
that in a book.
Nope, you can't because
You've gotta
who
be
can think
ready
that up?
for it. You've gotta be ready for the unexpected moments.
Exactly. The fun ones and the not so fun ones.
Exactly, right, right, it's true.
Oh,
It's
just the way
true.
their minds work. Yeah,
Oh, I know,
yesterday,
it's amazing.
we had, wear your Red Sox clothes to school day, and a couple kids didn't have the Red Sox on, and actually Miss Emily said, "How come you're not wearing your Red Sox today?" And she goes, "I don't have any Red Sox." So, like, just so
Oh my
literal,
goodness.
so
Yes,
literal.
so literal. Yeah,
You
and those
never
are the
know what
things.
they're gonna say.
Right, and those are the things I know when I was in the classroom, it was always people would tell me, you should write all these
We
things down that they
we have a
say,"
book.
Yes,
We have a book
exactly.
that we keep. So fun.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It's
that's
so
so good,
fun.
and then you can giggle all over again when you go back.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my goodness. So, for the families that are listening, many of whom are thinking about their children's long-term, educational journeys, what would you want them to understand about how experiences like play-based learning in early childhood connect to preparing, for even college, the future confident, capable learners?
Oh my goodness, and if only we had another hour where
Yeah,
you
I
could
know,
listen to
I
me
know,
talk
I know.
about the
It's
importance
just
of
not
this.
long enough.
Yeah, not long enough. But it truly, in today's world, we are really encountering a time where our youngest learners are not having as many opportunities to engage in play, structured play and unstructured play. And so to be able to have the opportunity to be in a school-based, play-based environment is vital. I mean, these kiddos are learning about, how to resolve conflict. They're learning how to overcome mistakes. How do I try again without somebody telling me what I should be doing, right? That's what play does for us with building autonomy, building our interests and our passions to be able to explore something that we might want to explore in the future. It's our purpose. And really what I feel like is often overlooked are our students thinking, right?
Yep,
Like our ability to develop skills and
right.
intellect through play. And that's how it happens for our youngest learners. And it is an incredibly sensitive and vital time in early childhood for that to be happening. So as a parent, if you can give your child that gift of having a play-based school experience, that will be preparing them for the rest of their school experiences and then eventually their adult life. It's just absolutely incredible. And I have to also say that really thinking about children as citizens, I
Oh,
think is incredibly important, right? Like,
absolutely.
in today's
Absolutely.
world of that, this is their work. This is
Yep,
their work of making the world a better place, of
yep.
understanding each other,
We're all
advocating
part
for
of a
themselves.
community. We're not
Yes,
separate.
Yes, exactly,
What
and
we do
those
affects other people.
yeah, 100%, and
Yeah.
those skills are built through play.
Yeah.
And I think that, it's just incredible to allow them at a place like Fox Hill to have that opportunity. I sustained a long time, a whole school year. We need that whole school year of play-based work. And that's what it is. It's work for them.
It
We
is.
have our jobs
Yeah.
and that's their job.
But
you
and
know?
that's yeah,
Yeah,
they're doing their work and learning what they need to learn to
exactly. Right.
be a part of this community. It's yeah,
Exactly.
I agree.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what they'll experience when they get I mean, my kids are in college and the things that they'll tell me that they've had to figure out is
Mhm.
I kind of I never really say it, but I think you learned how to do that in preschool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, good for
everything
you.
Melanie ties back. You could tie exactly, you could tie any moment of learning back
Yeah.
to those preschool years. It's all happening.
Not
It's
to
all
make
happening at
myself
once.
too important, but
I know it, I know it. Yeah, and it sort of also makes me think I just have to think about going back to, being here at Endicott and thinking about all of these, sources and supports that we have. Actually one of our professors here who you might know, Dr. Joy Erickson, just released a book. Actually, it's not her
oh,
first book, but about living. The title is Living Well Together. It's
oh,
about, how preschoolers engage with one another in anti-bias work and
I love
how
it.
teachers do that with and for children, and that's the work that I think we as adults at someplace like Endicott or any school around us is doing that work as adults, and then allowing that opportunity for children to be within that, right, and be doing their own work through play.
Well, you're
So
gonna have to give me
no.
the link. We'll have to put that in the show
Oh,
notes in case any
oh,
families wanna
sure,
know how to
sure.
get a hold of that book. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It is because this
Awesome.
is the work of children of living well together and learning
Yeah.
how to be a positive citizen and
Oh,
contribute. And actually, Melanie, if you don't mind, I think you might also remember my sister, who is a author illustrator, who also is writing another book
oh,
that is about
she is
play.
oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, well, we need that
and it's
too then.
and it's called Robin and the Stick, and that book is coming out soon, and
Oh,
it's just
I
such
love it.
another sweet storybook about a child engaging in play and nature and the surroundings, so, yeah, it's just nice also to appreciate the adults who are really thinking about how important this is
Absolutely, and her
too,
books are
right?
so beautiful. She
Oh,
gave us a whole
yeah,
bunch, and
yeah,
they're just wonderful. So,
yeah, yeah,
I'd love to know that there's another one.
good.
That's so great.
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome. Well, we'll
yeah.
need to put that link in the show notes too, so everybody can
Sure.
get a
Oh,
hold of
yeah, thank you for letting
her
me,
resources.
elevate
Absolutely.
all the people who are doing
Of
this
course,
great
of
work.
course.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your insight into the incredible work happening at Endicott College and for your
Okay.
continued connection with our Fox Hill community.
Mhm.
We never let go of anybody. We,
Yeah, no,
we
you don't.
I love it. I love
You
it.
don't, and thank you for putting this forum together to make those
Of course.
connections. I think it's
Yes.
wonderful. I just think it's
Oh,
wonderful.
well,
Yeah.
thank you. And
Yeah.
thank you to our listeners for tuning into Roots and Wings, where we explore the connections between early childhood experiences and lifelong learning. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share with a friend. And we look forward to continuing the conversation with you next time. Sarah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Melanie. It was great to be on.